Exclusivity, brand bullying, or business brilliance. A look at the Brandy Melville case study. Before social media influencers, they were Brandy girls. 2026 social media influencers are very common to us today. It would not be a revolutionizing idea for social media influencers to completely promote a corporation or brand to make money off of it and to help a business profit. This is something very normative today. However, 10 years ago, 2016 Brandy girls were revolutionizing against traditional marketing alternatives by 2000s teen retailers. This authentic, filtered, fun female aesthetic was a brand new concept to advertise. What makes Brandy Melville different isn't just their social media, however, it's their unique branding of the one size fits most, one size fits all. It might be controversial in comparison to the small, medium, large, etc. traditional American sizing that we're used to in stores. However, this is what has driven their exclusivity and unique intrigue. In 2009, Italian brand Brandy Melville moved to America hoping to dominate their retail market. Their teen competitors were typical indoor mall American stores. Abercrombie, Urban, Hollister, American Apparel, American Eagle, Forever 21 were to name a few. In 2009 articles, you can see that they already viewed Brandy Melville as a word-of-mouth up-and-coming competitor, being less expensive than American Apparel, higher quality than Forever 21, and matching the aesthetic of Abercrombie and Fitch early 2000s marketing campaigns with skinny models clad in trendy, disposable clothes. By 2014, only 5 years after being in America with only 18 store locations, Brandy Melville had certainly made an impact with their unique marketing success by outperforming many of their teen retail competitors. Their target wasn't just teens, but girls between 15 to 25 years old, appealing to those who resonate with the laid-back California style, characterized with minimalist designs, effortless chic, and limited sizing options so that it would narrow only to petite-framed girls. What would allure teens to shop here over other competitors? Popularity of athleisure. Brandy is known for having super soft, super comfortable clothes that fit the school-to-gym lifestyle that teens prefer today over a more formal jeans, dresses, blouse look. Teens prioritizing money spent on experience instead of clothing brands now with fast fashion and consistent trends in clothes because of social media. Teens would rather buy cheaper clothes that they can afford for more experiences they can pay for. Malls are no longer teen hangouts. The teen retail competitors that Brandy Melville was up against were all inside indoor malls in America, which have slowly started to close and decrease in popularity over the years. Rise of fast fashion. As I mentioned before, fast fashion has truly taken over America. It is a way to quickly pump out several different trends to keep up with the times on social media that are cheap. $20, $30, $40 in comparison to $85, $60 blouses that teens can actually afford and keep up with their peers. Individualism over branding. Teens want to create their own unique look and set a statement. Brandy Melville allows that with their simple designs. They said they can, quote, mix, match, and layer these items to create unique style. Exclusivity. One size fits all is the center of the debate, whether it's brand bullying or a brilliant business move and aspirational exclusion. We'll look first at exclusivity brand bullying. Brandy girls were the thing to be, however, they were also excluding many girls and giving them unhealthy, unattainable goals to be only skinny, white, long-legged, young, usually blonde. This is deeply rooted in a problem of racism and opinion. In a 2024 interview with People magazine, a former 22-year-old employee of Brandy Melville said she was first scouted by the store when she was only 14 years old. They were asking her to take photos to apply, to which she did. However, she realized how quickly problematic it became when she was being sent, her photos were being sent to corporate every single day. And if you were deemed unattractive that day or not skinny enough, you would get a strike. 3 strikes and you were out. I would definitely look into that article to learn more about the issues lying behind the employees of who are representing the Brandy girl lifestyle. Current climate is body positivity. Where in the early 2000s, Abercrombie and Fitch definitely did not attain this body positivity movement with their skinny, white-only, fit, barely clothed models all over their stores. Brandy Melville similarly having that same aesthetic in store. Abercrombie and Fitch has changed that since their exposing documentary White Hot basically forced a rebrand. However, Brandy has not done that. Now you'll see modesty, diversity, inclusivity all over the current Abercrombie and Fitch rebrand. When Brandy Melville first came to America, they were deeply inspired by their teen competitors in the retail market, like Abercrombie & Fitch, Hollister, American Apparel, and while they have all changed their aesthetic to fit the body positivity movement of the 2020s, Brandy Melville still has not. Abercrombie & Fitch did drop in their sales when they didn't change the body positivity movement around 2010, but since changing and adding more diversity to their size to include other people, they have risen to the top of the teen retail market once again. I'm going to go in and discover what their new marketing and advertisements look like. Diversity, inclusivity, and modesty is the new face of the rebranded Abercrombie & Fitch, which makes them a masterclass in rebrand success. How cute is this? In a spirit of inclusivity, when Abercrombie & Fitch did their rebrand, they started adding larger sizes or tighter fitting options so that they can have a more inclusive sizing range. This dress, adorable as it is an extra large, so it's definitely more progressive than Brandy Melville's one size only, extra small only size option available. Even in their pants options, they've released a pure love alternative for girls who might be considered plus size in a different brand. As you can see right here, it goes up to even a size 31, and it's made to be wide-leg so that it can flatter everyone. Your Personal Best is also a new initiative for the company in order to get into the athleisure game. The online brand even specifying that it is done to motivate and support one another to do better together. Very different from the 2013 Abercrombie & Fitch, when CEO Mike Jeffries reportedly said, quote, "Abercrombie is only for cool, good-looking people." This brand now... Do the clothes even fit the average American girl? According to the brand's website, under the description for sizing, most of Brandy Melville's clothing is one size, providing measurements of most items to help you get a better idea of the fit. Some of our bottoms have Italian sizing. The products are thin compared to American equivalents of 00, 0, 1, 3, and 5 for bottoms. Clearly this is similar today, as I have posted a picture of a 2026 screenshot of the website. The only size offered is an extra small, which would be the equivalent of a size 0 today in American standards. In a 2014 Huffington Post article, it says that a girl will need to have a 25-inch waist to get into Brandy Melville's skinny jeans. That's around a size 0 or 2. And that the average 16-year-old girl has a 31-inch waist. That's a 6-inch difference, and a completely unattainable size for most girls to achieve. Trisha Paytas and Billie Eilish are two celebrities that have both expressed outwardly in YouTube and in public People magazine interviews saying that they have been affected by this. Trisha Paytas said she was even asked to remove her revealing YouTube video about her negative interaction with a store employee because she was receiving lawsuits from the brand's lawyer.
Excuse me, do you have this in a large?
Literally one size.
One size.
It's safe to say social media has a lot and mostly negative to say about the content and creation of Brandy Melville. However, Brandy itself seems to simply not care. Their content aesthetic, creation, demographic, and lack of accountability is very evident in their current social media, even after all their controversy and the HBO documentary revealing all that it did. Speaking of which, I did take the time to watch the HBO documentary and highlighted some key points that I thought were very important and haven't seen enough talk about in current articles. First off was the exploitation. These girls are being exploited at a very young age by the negative practices of this company, basically feeling for their entire teenage lives that they are being compared to this standard of beauty, that they can't grow up, they can't go through hormones and body changes because they will end up being unattractive according to their idealized brand. The process of content gain I also find very problematic, as they are basically stealing content from teenage girls, hiring them to be photographers and work with no credibility to their name, and buying the clothes straight off the girls' backs, never giving them a single dime of profit. The business owner is probably the most appalling aspect of the whole operation, as he is a middle-aged man fully profiting off of the mental well-being or non-well-being of these teenage girls. Finally, Brandy and Melville is a huge contributor to the fast fashion harm that we are creating across the country, dumping thousands upon thousands of unused clothes in third world countries and punishing them for their complaints.
It said in an interview with one.
Exclusivity, business brilliance. Like them or love them, Brandy Melville has definitely made a wave in their social media instead of advertising movement. They have steered clear of virtually every fundamental aspect of traditional marketing, avoiding flashy campaigns, ads, celebrity endorsements, collaborations, and all forms of discounts. This lack of advertising creates a sense of authenticity and desirability, showing that they don't need to beg for attention because Brandy already has the spotlight. I feel this is very well executed in this YouTube video I have linked here by Jazzy Jasmine. I absolutely recommend you give her a listen. She really well explains the wonderful execution of social media replacing advertising for Brandy Melville. Number 2, their consistent aesthetics set them apart. Brandy really tries to embody the trendy teenage girl look with their 3 key fronts in their social media presence, website, and in-person stores, showing that you can be a Brandy girl by being carefree, cool, effortless, and Californian style. Their candid teenage girl photos with promoting the Brandy girl lifestyle rather than the Brandy Melville clothing product itself adds to a more relative, personal idea. Their stores also feel more personal, as they feel like a teenage girl's bedroom or like a basement they might hang out in, with their homey wooden floor feeling, fairy lights, minimalist white design, and their website is a perfect combination of the two, so you see consistency on all fronts. The country club approach, as explained by our case study, is a nickname based off of a traditional country club, where members value the status they achieve from claiming membership to an exclusive club, and others aspire to one day join the club. Every article about this basically shows you that exclusion equals aspiration. They say that consumers will actually spend more money and consume more strategically to earn affiliation, and the employees that gain this affiliation end up having a more identifying only through the brand cult-like mentality. Professionals have good and bad things to say about it. Relate Studios professionals even say the power of understanding and catering to a specific demographic and consistency in brand communication is their key for success. Brandy has certainly showed that they understand the mind of a teenage girl and will cater to it. However, they are going to groom them and take advantage of their immaturity and thought process in the meantime. In a 2021 article, writer says employees and consumers are 2 sides of the same coin. Teenagers hoping to sit at the table of the cool kids during lunch, and the higher ups of the company know exactly how to exploit this, giving some of the girls a seat while leaving the others to try even harder to gain a selected spot they may never get. All the while, the male CEO is gaining more publicity and making more money, profiting off of the sexist system of assigning worth to girls based off of their appearance, which we know is already a major issue. Girls comparing their appearance to that of their peers, that they show in this chart beside us. Girls perceive beauty and body standards in marketing at highly unhealthy rates and even higher unrealistic rates. In conclusion, the ethics of Brandy Melville's practices are just not worth the aesthetic style and business model success. Here are my references for my research as well as for my photos.